want to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders, to past, present and emerging. And to be Irish is to be from a small island, but it's also to be part of a strong global community. And those were the words of our President, Mary Lou McDonald, when she gave her keynote speech here in Australia last summer. And Ireland's influence, as Matt says, in the world isn't achieved through power or force, but by the character, the talent and the ingenuity of the thousands of our people who have left our shores in search of a new life. And we've always held dear those values of community, of friendship, of honest effort and of fairness. We have remained true to who we are as a people and stayed faithful to the small island we call home. And that has resonated right throughout the globe and has achieved incredible respect and value wherever the Irish travelled and put down roots. And Mary Lou's words ring true as I look round this room here tonight in Sydney. A room beaten with ambition and future for the future of Ireland and for its people. The historical connections between Ireland and Australia are complex ones. And coming from a country which has experienced colonisation, which has experienced occupation, we recognise the impact of European occupation and settlement, including the immigration from Ireland on the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, which were the first sovereign nations of Australia. The tale of Irish in Australia opens in chains of bondage, with the lament of the exiled patriots and revolutionaries, and which unfolds throughout decades of immigration. However, it's true to say that the real story, the overriding story of Ireland and Australia is one of friendship. It's one of hard graft, it's one of family, it's one of hope. The Irish community here in Australia is a strong community. It's a vibrant community. It's one that's brimming with energy, with optimism, with that we can do attitude, and it defines our people. And we're proud of the contribution, and we've seen that in the short time that we've been here, right throughout the cities that we've been here in Australia, that contribution that the Irish have made to society in this city of Sydney and elsewhere, in sports, in business, in culture, in community, in building communities and in public life. But we know that while many people leave, they leave, as Matt talked about, for adventure, for experience, for fun. For far, far too many people of our young people today, they are leaving because they feel that they have no other choice. People who feel that they've been denied an opportunity and a shot at a good life in their own home country of Ireland. And that is heartbreaking. And when Mary Lou said last year that Sinn Fein is working night and day to change things for them, that you can be sure that that is our pledge to people, so that we can change and to deliver a new Ireland where people can come home to a new Ireland. And she meant that, and I mean that today. And as somebody who wants and aspires to be a finance minister and a government for change, that is especially true to my heart. I was born in Scotland to parents, the son of an Irish immigrant. My earliest memory is of the removal truck parked outside a rental home in Donegal as we returned to Ireland. My mother and father left West Donegal in the early 60s because there wasn't any work. They fought deprivation, no prospects of raising a family, little chance of building a future, and of course they weren't alone. Their story was shared by thousands of others who in search of work had to leave their country, their home, because there was no chance for them. But the Ireland of 2023 is a very different place. Today, Ireland's economy is very strong. Unemployment is low, and Ireland attracts significant inward investment from international companies. And we're renowned for our highly skilled and educated workforce, highly skilled population, an international hub for talent and innovation. And yet, despite all this progress, another generation turn to the airports and for a hope of a better life here in Australia, in US, in Britain, and in Canada. Not because there's no work, but despite having jobs, despite having a good education, despite having the skills and the qualification, they are prevented from having a good future at home. And we have an entire generation who's locked out of opportunity and prosperity. An entire generation locked out of home ownership, an entire generation that are worse off than their parents. And the housing crisis at home is at the centre of all of this great failure. Thousands of workers and families, despite doing all the things right, still struggle to put an affordable roof and secure roof over their heads. On top of this, we have a situation where they're ripped off at every turn. High energy costs, extortionate rents, sky-high food costs, 250,000 people who can't pay their electricity bills. And for generations, people rightly had the expectation that if you get up and you have a job and you work hard and you get ahead, then you can build a happy and secure life for yourself and for your family. Here in Australia, they call that the fair go. In Ireland, this expectation, this fair go, has been shredded up by successive Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil governments who haven't got the fundamentals right. And ordinary people are waking up every morning and they're seeing an Ireland in 2023 that doesn't work for them or their families. And many make the decision to leave even though they so desperately want to stay, and it shouldn't be that way. So despite the challenges we face, this should be an exciting time. It should be a time for optimism in Ireland, a time for hope in Ireland, because the opportunities for our island and for our economy are immense. Opportunities to take our country to the next level, to make Ireland a world leader in energy renewables, to become an international centre for research and development, to use the strength of our public finances to build strong public services. And this should be the best of times for workers and families. But the problem is that we have a government that is jaded, that is out of touch, that is so locked into the past that they're standing by and missing the opportunities that are right before them, and the incompetence from them is off the charts. And it's clear to realise the immense opportunities that present itself for Ireland, we need new political leadership with energy and ambition, and we in Sinn Fein are ready to lead the next government, a government for change, north and south in Ireland. That is what the people want, and that is what Sinn Fein will deliver. To those who have been forced to leave, I say, and I know, and I say to you that we in Sinn Fein see you, we hear you, we're working hard for you. Working hard to make Ireland a home that you deserve, that will create a genuine route back home for anybody who has left and wishes to return. Sinn Fein is the party that will fix the housing crisis. We will end the housing crisis. We will deliver the biggest housing programme ever seen in the history of the state. And we will protect the most vulnerable. We will renew the promise that if you work hard, then you can share in prosperity and build a secure and decent future for you and your family. And I heard you, I believe that our best days are before us. And I believe that because people right across the island of Ireland are demanding real change. They know it's time to break away from the broken politics of the past. They know that tomorrow needs to be very different from yesterday. And the last 3 elections have shown this demand for change and how it's powerfully shaping a new future. 3 elections where the people rocked the system at the ballot box. In the South in 2020, in the general election, Sinn Fein won the popular vote. Sinn Féin's support has continued to grow and is now at the highest level ever. And this means that at the next election, there exists the real opportunity to have the first government in 100 years without Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Because our ambition is that this party, Sinn Fein, will be the party who will lead that government, who will put ordinary workers, families and communities first. A government that will put the reunification of our country right at the top of the agenda, heard you. That is what we are about to achieve. In the North, twice in the last 12 months, the people resoundingly endorsed Sinn Féin's message for change. A Sinn Féin message to get the executive up and running and to make politics work for everybody. And the Assembly election last May saw Sinn Féin emerge as the largest party for the first time. And now a Republican woman from Tyrone, our friend, our comrade, Michelle O'Neill, stands elected as First Minister Designate, ready to lead an executive for all, a historic achievement that has been done because people believed it could be done. The result of the local elections, which happened just a few short weeks ago, saw the incredible success repeated as the people once again went to the ballot boxes and backed Sinn Fein to become the largest party in local government, the first time ever a nationalist party has held that position. And remember, when we talk about that and those achievements, remember that these seismic changes has taken place in a state that was designed for this never, ever, ever to happen. A state that was founded on sectarianism, a state that was founded on bigotry, on domination of one community over another. Well, I encourage you, it did happen because people believed and people made the change happen. Just as me, you, and everybody else can make change happen in terms of Irish unity. Because people from all across all communities are coming together, determined to break from the past, to build a brighter future, a better future that this generation deserves. And there now exists an opportunity to recapture that spirit and determination of those peacemakers who made that courageous leap of courage and trust to deliver the historic Good Friday Agreement 25 years ago. I encourage you, by reaching out the hand of friendship, by working together, by believing in a better tomorrow, we have built a peace. Today, as the desire for fundamental change burns brightly, we have an opportunity to write the next chapter in our nation's history, the story of the reunification of our country. And there is no greater expression of the appetite for real change now in Ireland than the ever-growing demand for Irish unity. And this conversation is live. It is live in every town, every city, every village across the island of Ireland. And every single day, more and more people recognise that the partition of our island has been a disaster for all of the people who call Ireland their home. It brought with it, as we know, oppression, division, conflict, and through the establishment of two conservative states on the island, the potential, the ambition, the dreams of our people were stifled for generations. But we now have the unprecedented chance to right those historic injustices. The end of partition in our time. That is the aim. And I believe we can do it. I believe we must do it. I believe we will do it. Because reunification is the best idea for the future of our country. We can no longer afford partition. The economic opportunities of Ireland and Irish unity are huge. Now is the time to realise the power of the Irish economy coast to coast, an economy that is integrated, strong and prosperous. It is time for both the Irish and British governments to catch up, to realise the winds of change are blowing, and powerfully blowing in the direction of Irish unity. Now is the time to plan, to prepare for peaceful, orderly and democratic constitutional change. And that means an Irish government that must urgently establish a citizens' assembly on Irish unity, because such a forum will allow for the mapping out of an inclusive vision for the future. Because there's one thing, and if there's one message I want to get across this evening, and that is, make no mistake about it, referendum on Irish unity, on Irish reunification are coming. In the course of the next decade, the people of Ireland, north and south, will have their say. And those of us who advocate for Irish unity, those of us who believe in Irish unity, must be up and at it. We must be on our game to win the referendums and to win those referendums well. And to do that, we need to push out all of the boundaries, push out our expectation, and be ready to extend ourselves over and over again. To make Irish unity the defining mass movement of our people, we need to build alliances right throughout society and right across the globe. Our people at home and abroad coming together to make history. That is what is needed. That is what it's going to take to see the day when Ireland is united and it takes its rightful place among the nations of the world. And the scale of the task that we face is a huge one, but it is one that we can deliver on, one that we can achieve. We can't underestimate the power and influence of international allies. And Sinn Fein knows that building support here in Australia is absolutely vital to our goals of Irish unity. The goal must be to replicate the powerful support for Irish unity that we've seen in the United States for many, many decades. Our job is to tighten the natural bonds of friendship between our two countries and to build our relationships with progressive allies here in Australia. And that is the focus of the Sinn Fein leadership in our visits here to this great country. Organisations like Australia's Friends of Irish Unity will be absolutely crucial in achieving this vision. And I want to really pay tribute to Michael Daly and to Paul Lynch and of course to Paddy Gorman, who were so instrumental in getting this organisation up off the ground. I would ask you to put your all hands together to thank everyone for doing that, along with the team who is with them. Because I know, and the Sinn Féin leadership knows, that this group will make an immense contribution to help shape a better future for Ireland and our people. And I would encourage everybody to get behind it and support it. But international support was key in the success of the peace process. It was absolutely vital to the achievement of the Good Friday Agreement, and it will be vital again in our journey towards Irish unity. The proclamation of 1916 speaks of Ireland's exiled children abroad, and it talks about our gallant international allies to step forward in the name of freedom. And that same call reverberates across a century of people's history and echoes loudly throughout this room here in Sydney tonight. As Bobby Sands said, everybody has their part to play. No part is too great or too small. And those things that ordinary people were fighting for 100 years ago are the same things that we are fighting for today. Freedom, unity, equality, a nation of our own, a home in which all of the people of Ireland can live, can love, can grow and prosper. So we can build a nation home to which those who have left can return, knowing that they can achieve a good life and a decent future. And we know that the success and measure of change that we in Sinn Féin want to bring about is that not one person boarding a plane, whether they're coming to Australia or Canada or elsewhere, feels that they have to go, feels that they're forced to go, feel that they're forced to leave their country because of the failures of government. Those of us who believe in real change stand today in the spotlight of history. And this is a moment for which generations have waited for this opportunity, this exciting time that we're in over the next number of years, the opportunity to unite Ireland, the opportunity to build a fairer, a real republic that is fair, that is based on equality for workers and families, the opportunity to realise the dream of the proclamation declared by Padraig Pearse in the steps of the GPO in 1916. Here in our time, we can fulfil that dream. Here in our time, we will fulfil the dream of Padraig Pearse, of James Connolly, of Countess Markievicz, of Rita O'Hare and Martin McGuinness. And I know we will fulfil that dream because of people like yourself, the Friends, and countless Republicans right throughout the globe who are determined to end British rule in our country and to build a new Ireland. I encourage you, the future is ours to win. So whether you're in Donegal or in Sydney, in Perth or in Cork, in London or in Longford, in Boston or Kilkenny, you can and you must play your part in achieving a new Ireland that we all want to see. We are on the final length of our long walk to Irish unity. The day of full nationhood is on the horizon, and I encourage you, that is a day we will all achieve together. So stay the course, stay faithful, let's put our shoulder to the wheel, and we will do it. I encourage you. Gur maith go Gillier and Foblart Abu.